This is the program that shows you the side of police chase videos they didn't want you to see. Bungled arrests, kamikaze crooks and cop-based carnage of all kinds. Welcome to Cops Uncut, the real car crash TV.
On my way.
Coming up on Cops Uncut. This murder suspect is on the verge of being busted. This homeboy pops a cap into a cop. And this wrongdoer gets a rear ender.
Taking off again.
In Escambia, Florida, an eagle-eyed bank teller has blown the whistle on a murder suspect, and the cops arrive just in time to see him drive off. Stephen Ray Stickles allegedly killed his mother-in-law, but now that he's tried to cash a check bearing her name, it won't be allegedly for much longer. And a checkbook might not be the only thing Stickles has stolen, because suspiciously enough, the SUV he's driving also belonged to the victim. The vehicle is a Ford Escape, although whether he can make it live up to its name remains to be seen. Stickles steers onto the freeway and nearly shakes off the cops in the process. He certainly isn't one for a conventional chase, and almost as soon as we've joined the freeway, we're heading off-road again, or should that be between road? Having made a mess of the central reservation, we've mounted another off-ramp, although there does seem to be some method to this man's madness. Stickles knows the freeways of Florida very well, it's just that he has his own unique way of negotiating them. So a little further on, he puts his SUV through its paces with yet more gardening. Although, as you may have noticed, he now has another car on his tail. No, that Silver Saloon up ahead isn't a have-a-go hero trying to help the police, it's an undercover cop from the Homicide Division. It's not easy to keep up with Stickles, who's reaching 70 even on these tree-lined side roads and scattering unsuspecting drivers in his wake. Trouble is, he's just going round in a big circle and is soon back where he started. After some trouble with the in-laws, this suspect wrote a check that he couldn't cash. And because the crime in question is murder, he's being taken to the station by the Shirt and Tie Brigade, who will soon be giving him the first degree. Still to come in part 1. This homeboy fires off a hail of bullets, and this cop comes at his suspect from behind. Drunk test dummies. Just out of shot to the left, a pedestrian has been run over, and the guilty party is being questioned in this cop car.
You had beer this morning? Tell me when this morning is.
Huh?
Tell me when this morning is.
Early this morning.
Do you have any in the car now? Because I can still smell it on your breath, okay? So I know it wasn't too early, too long ago, because I can still smell it on you.
Surprise, surprise, there's alcohol involved. So this cop is following standard procedure by putting his drunken reveler through a field sobriety test. He's recited the script 1,000 times before, and for this young lady, it may well be a familiar one.
What I want you to do is follow the tip of my pen, okay, with your eyes. Don't turn your head, don't shift your body. Just follow with your eyes only. All right, you understand that? You have any questions for me?
After concentrating on a big biro as it swung from side to side, the second part combines balance with mental arithmetic, as demonstrated here with enough clarity to be understood by even the most legless of lawbreakers.
Go to your choice. I want you to point yourself forward and look forward. Then keep your hands to your side, just like this. While you're doing this, I want you to count out loud. Here's an example. 1001, 1002, 1003.
But in his desire to go by the book, this cop is overlooking one key fact. His suspect has no intention of lying about her condition.
2001, 2002, 2003. I can't do it.
Why can't you
I'm
do it?
telling you, because I'm drunk.
Okay. You want to at least try?
I don't.
Okay.
I just ran over that dude.
Okay.
She's much more concerned about the welfare of the guy she knocked down, who's currently being loaded into an ambulance with a splint on his leg and a drip in his arm. She can't quite see why the police need a test to prove that she's pissed, when that's what she's been trying to tell them all along.
You step heel to toe. Don't use your arms for balance and don't use your body for balance if you can help it, okay?
Can't.
Okay, so stand right here. Let me at least give you an example, okay? Here's an example, okay?
I can't do it.
One.
At some point, the penny is going to drop for these anally retentive officers. But for the moment, in what has to be a world first, their sozzled suspect is putting her heart and soul into failing a field sobriety test.
9 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you understand that?
Yep. And I'm trying, but I can't do it.
Okay, will you try?
Did you understand the instructions he gave to you, man?
Yes. I'm trying.
And when she stumbles her way through walking the white line, they decide to dumb things down even further. Time to play a game that wouldn't look out of place on an episode of Teletubbies.
I want you to touch your thumb to the tip of your fingers, just like this, and I want you to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then return in the opposite manner. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's one set. I want you to do that 4 times. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
So, today's drunk test dummies are these two cops who are granted the accolade for failing to notice a confession when it was right under their noses and testing their suspect at such great length that by the time they arrest her, she's completely sobered up. As Forrest Gump once said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Making a traffic stop proves the point. All sorts of different characters can step out of the driver's seat. It could be a doddery old man, or a boozed-up boy racer, a pregnant woman, or a professional car thief. Sadly for him, this cop is about to pick a veritable coconut cream amongst criminals, the suspect that no Bobby wants to bump into.
321, where you at? Hey, sir.
And talking to his colleague on the radio isn't exactly going to fill him with confidence, as she displays all the enthusiasm of a call centre operative for BT customer services.
47 in Sterling. Officer down, hey. Where are you, Lee?
With his cruiser looking like a colander, this officer is fortunate that the only bullet to reach him ended up in his leg.
I don't know where he is.
I'm coming right up on it.
01. Stop me mask. I might be hit. I'm definitely hit the leg, and I don't know about the head.
The gunman was later caught and hauled in on approximately as many charges as the number of bullets he fired. The officer, meanwhile, is working his way through a tin of Quality Street in his hospital bed.
Taking off again.
There's not much to see out here in the sticks, so let me draw your attention to the time and date on this dash cam. Yep, this cop drew the short straw when he got landed with the night shift on New Year's Eve. And while the rest of the Tallapoosa PD are living it up in a bar downtown, he's chasing a couple of hicks along a muddy track. In about 15 minutes' time, people all over America will be setting off fireworks from their back gardens, kissing their loved ones and raising a glass of champers. But the way things are going, Muggins here will be wading through the cowpats to make an arrest in the middle of a field. It's the usual story. This car was missing that most essential of items, a number plate. The officer pulled it over, but before he had time to sharpen his pencil and get out his notebook, the driver took off again and led him all the way to what geographers would describe as the arse end of nowhere. When he handed in his report on the 1st of January, the cop tried to claim that his suspect deliberately slammed on the brakes several times, and that, as a result, he was unable to stop himself from going into the back of the car. On the evidence of this video, we beg to differ. But as the clock ticks down the seconds, you can forgive him for wanting to get things over and done with. Particularly as we now seem to have hit the really rough stuff. As he tries to work out whether this is even a road anymore, our hero decides to send these guys all the way to Times Square. And in case they're still conscious, he swiftly moves in for another nudge. And if they try to make a run for it, he's even got a police dog called Bruno in the back of the cruiser, who'll be more than happy to chase them down. This unfortunate officer had a nightmare before New Year's, but at least his suspects can sing him Auld Lang Syne as he's driving them back to the Nick. As a cop, you'll have to deal with all sorts of suspects in your day-to-day police work. But no matter how harmless they may look, you should never assume that dealing with them is going to be an easy job. Take the teenage girl driving this Jeep. She ought to be hanging out at the Mall, buying makeup and practicing her cheerleading moves, but instead she's about to get pulled over for speeding. Still, when you get her to the side of the road, you'd expect her to look scared, pay the fine straight away, and even bat her eyelids a little in the hope of getting a discount. Well, think again, because today this high school girl has decided that she's up for a high-speed chase. Behind all of those top-shelf accessories beats the stone-cold heart of a ruthless criminal who'll let nothing stand in her way when it comes to getting to her breast augmentation appointment on time. Underestimate a lady like this at your peril, because she could quite easily have your sheriff's badge for breakfast. For example, don't think that you can stop a Jeep Grand Cherokee by just waving at it. Knowing that she's got a 5-litre engine at her fingertips, your suspect will just swerve around you and drive on. Even threatening to put a dent in her bodywork isn't going to put this girl off, not when she's managed to get such a good deal on her car insurance by being a woman driver. Before feminism took off, male chauvinist pigs were able to criticize members of the opposite sex for being too timid when they were behind the wheel. But in the modern era of equality, women are known to drive just as badly as their boyfriends. As well as using excessive speed, they can intimidate other road users, cut people up. And even if you try and force them off the road, be careful, because they may use their 4x4 as the manufacturer intended. Now that his windscreen looks like the back end of a muck spreader, this cop wants some revenge and overtakes his colleagues to get back on the teenager's tail. But letting your emotions cloud your judgment is only going to play into a suspect's hands. And when the red mist descends, you're much more likely to make mistakes like this next one. A little further up the road, his colleagues are lying in wait with a spike strip. Whilst the fledgling felon executes a nifty swerve to avoid it, the cop isn't so clever and now has a couple of fast deflating tyres to add to his woes. So, time for a quick recap. Just because your suspect is still at school doesn't mean they're going to have any respect for authority. And never underestimate a woman driver, because rather than teaching her a thing or two about the rules of the road, you could end up on the receiving end of some girl power. Class dismissed.
Taking off again.
Still to come in part 2. These back roads sure are bumpy. And this driver goes from pole to pole.
Taking off again.
When he pulls over a car for erratic driving, this officer has a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah. You ain't drinking, are you? You all over that line over here. Oh, you just got up? Okay, let me see your light. I just want to make sure you wasn't a late partier.
The driver insists that he hasn't been burning the candle at both ends. But the cop isn't so sure and lines him up in front of the dash cam so we can all get a closer look. Admittedly, he doesn't appear to be drunk, but when it comes to holding a conversation, this guy's speech patterns are as unpredictable as his steering.
What's your date of birth, Philip? You don't know when you were born? Woo! Your real date of birth?
You called me by surprise. So I'm kind of, crazy. Oh, it's all. June 11th. You scared me, for real.
How come I scared you? You scared me while you driving. How long you been awake?
Ever since 5.
What's your date of birth?
I think he means 5 o'clock yesterday morning because this Ravy Davy sounds like he's been popping the happy pills and all he needs to complete the picture are a couple of glow sticks and a smiley face on his T-shirt.
Your name, your date of birth, and the city and state where you were born is going to be on file in a computer. If it comes back anything different, then I know you give me a false name, you're going to be arrested.
Even asking for the time could prove to be a challenge. As he radios a name and date of birth into the station, his blissed-out buddy trips out at the sunrise. He may be physically present, but his mind is somewhere else entirely.
Now, you sure you got a lie? You ain't shooting me no lie now. Be honest with me, I cut folks' brakes that's honest with me. Folks lie to me, that's a little different.
All right.
You ain't got no license, have you?
Oh dear, it just goes to show that being loved up won't necessarily get you off the hook. The cop's a pretty friendly fellow, though, and gives his suspect another chance.
Okay, Alabama's saying you ain't got a driver's license. So you want to try another birthday? We're going to be here and we're going to go to jail now.
This hopped-up homeboy probably thinks that jail is the name of some trendy new club, so the cop continues with his softly approach.
Have you got anything illegal in that car that you're worried about?
No.
No gun?
There aren't any drugs left in the car because he's already taken them, although he didn't exactly say no when he was asked about guns.
Is this the guns all? Okay, you mind if we search your car? And there's nothing else gonna be in it? I'm not gonna hook you up for the gun, okay?
I don't want to go to jail. I want to go.
I'm not gonna put you
In fact, he even decides to come clean about his identity.
The car is mine. My name is Freddie.
Troy Dixon?
Yes.
But in case Dixon gets too comfortable, it's time to meet the cop's secret sidekick.
See Cujo watching you? See that dog right there? If you even breathe hard, he gonna come out and get you. That ain't gonna be pretty.
Yes, he's got a drooling Alsatian in a cage, and it hasn't been fed for 2 days, which ought to be enough to tip Dixon over into drug paranoia. For now, though, and until the side effects wear off, he doesn't appear to have a care in the world. This all-night raver thought he could get home in time for the after-party. He may be dancing now, but pretty soon he's going to join a much more elite club than the one he's just come from. Its members are specially selected for their ability to break the law, and security is much tighter than usual. It's not getting in that you have to worry about, though, it's being allowed out. And you may have to stay there for quite some time.
Not watching this guy, he's squirrely as hell. He's probably wanted or he's loaded up now.
On a dusty back road in the southern states, a pickup flashes past with a patrol car hot on its heels. This second cop has been lying in wait and starts off on the bumpy ride to help out his colleague. They're tracking down a dodgy geezer on a dark night who's desperate to get away because he's wanted for a string of warrants as long as your arm. Yes, you're watching the archetypal police chase containing all of the essential elements required for a decent dashcam video. Speeds have been approaching 3 figures and the suspect is leading us on a whistle-stop tour of the local sites, including some of the bumpiest roads this side of a Mongolian mountain pass. The cops think about pulling a pit maneuver, and the criminal thinks about pulling over and trying to hide in someone's back garden. It's only a matter of time before he overcooks it on a sharp bend and plows his pickup into a tree. Then the police can work off some of those extra pounds by chasing after their suspect and apprehending him as he tries to jump over a fence. All in all, this has been just another night in the life of the Highway Patrol. The only thing left to do is march their crook past the camera, which just goes to show that while crime doesn't pay, it can grant you your 15 seconds of fame.
Taking off again.
And finally, take a look at the contrasting co-stars in this next clip as they demonstrate the fact that cops and crooks really are like chalk and cheese.
Okay, why don't you keep your hands up where I can see them, okay?
First up is our laid-back lawman, calmly dealing with just another traffic stop.
Do me a favor, turn the vehicle off for a minute, okay? Do you have a driver's license?
Then we have his skittish suspects who won't even use the handbrake, they're so highly strung.
Stop the car. Stop the car. Stop it. Why? Hey, you don't want to get in more trouble, okay? Stop the car. You're going to run into that truck. You're going to run into the car. You're going to run into the car.
These kids need some lessons in stress management.
There we go. Huh?
They also need some lessons in telling the difference between forward and reverse. Being around a policeman has made them very nervous indeed, but the policeman himself couldn't be more relaxed. He takes a few seconds to size up the situation before reporting the incident to his colleagues.
Okay, it is 44. High rate of speed.
Then it's time to jog back to the car, put his shades on, and get down to business. So what have we learnt today on Cops Uncut? Driving around in a murder victim's car is a dead giveaway. Pull over the wrong man and you may have to duck behind the dashboard. And in a mudslinging contest, you're bound to come off second best to an SUV. Be careful out there.